one of the Republicans leading the charge against President Trump and his voters, is Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger. He's number one at CNN, but back in his home district, well, not so much. Catalina Lauf, former advisor for the Department of Commerce. She's a liberty-loving Latina and is challenging Kinzinger in the primary in 2022. Catalina, welcome back. Glad to see you. What do you think? Is there a civil war between the never-Trump politicians like Mr. Kinzinger there and guys like Bill Kristol versus conservatives and 75 million Trump voters? What do you think?
First of all, the voters in the Republican Party made the referendum against the establishment back in 2016 when we first supported President Trump. And, the America First agenda, we made more gains in every demographic, no matter background or household. Look at what happened in different counties, not only in Texas and Florida, especially with the Hispanic vote. The America First agenda is the most inclusive agenda. And when you have people like Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger who just completely still have Trump derangement syndrome, they're not in touch with their constituents. Adam Kinzinger prefers to be on MSNBC and CNN, building his own brand instead of being back home and fighting for what's right against the far left. He's agreeing with them. And so it's time that we actually, get strong conservatives. We get America First candidates in. In our last cycle here in 2020, more America First candidates won their primaries. And so I think we're seeing an honest shift here, and we need to make sure that it's continuing on that thread in 2022.
You took me right where I wanted to go, because what do folks in the district think of Mr. Kinzinger's new status as an anti-conservative CNN poster boy?
It's incredibly sad. I mean, we've had not only with the heavily politicized COVID-19 lockdown that our governor, J.B. Pritzker, was doing here, but we had BLM riots this last summer. Kinzinger was nowhere to be found. He hasn't been. I've heard from a lot of people here on the ground that he's completely been absent for the last 6 terms. And it's time that we, get servant leadership. This is the frustration, honestly, with people on both sides of the aisle, is that, they're representatives, they get elected and then they leave, they go to Washington, join the swamp, and then never, forget who voted them in. So it's time that we get people, until term limits are passed, we get people in and we hold the current elected officials accountable. And it's time for us to clean house all around here in the Republican Party.
Amen to that. The attacks on the American culture, borders, military, and the economy, well, they've been breathtaking in the first few months of the socialist takeover of Washington, D.C. Does Kinzinger's district think he's up to that fight, or do they, as you point out, do they think he's just surrendered to the socialists?
He's not only surrendered, he's agreeing with them. I mean, you hear what he goes on MSNBC, CNN, agreeing with them, his tweets, he's constantly, again, agreeing with them. His constituents are incredibly upset because there is a fight now. I mean, we're being hammered politically, culturally, socially by the far left. They're getting emboldened, and it's time that we have strong leaders and bold voices to combat that. Our country is worth fighting for here, culturally, politically, and socially, and it's time that we push back. And frankly, somebody like Adam Kinzinger, if he wants to have a CNN, MSNBC contributorship, that's great, but don't run for Congress as a Republican anymore, Adam.
Catalina Lauf, a liberty-loving Latina. Good luck. Keep us posted on your challenge to Mr. Kinzinger. He really did earn it. Thank you, lady. Appreciate it.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.